Gen.G manages to take a win and turn this series into a full match. Gen.G got their revenge on game number 2. Akali was opened again and Gen.G took it ASAP. So what's your take on their draft? So a lot of people were really curious about Morgana and Diana. So what did a world's quarter-finalist or semi-finalist? So we didn't hear about his thoughts on Morgana support. So Morgana up against Zaya Rakan, well actually it's a pick that you have to go very aggressively to find the value out of it. However, his rune and his itemization, he didn't really go with aggressive play style. And wards, the position of his wards was not really that meaningful at all. So it doesn't really seem like whether Morgana was a very prepared pick. I mean, T1 really went defensively this game. However, Gen.G is the team that can find a way through this kind of comp. So as what it mentioned about wardings from T1, let's check out where they started to have hard times. So let's take a look how the red team players placed their wards. Orianna and MF and Morgana, they warded in 3 different points to prevent the potential level 2 gank from J4 after his red buff. However, Clid actually soloed down the blue buff, so he did not expose any information about his location. And also Diana is really slow at clearing the camps in the early phase. And also, watch how he clears this camp, because he was taking his time to make the most out of the Hunter's Talisman. So he was able to regenerate some of his health. J4 was able to just invade or walk into the blue jungle, and he walked out with the blue buffs with him. And also, Gen.G players saw that effort on Morgana took W for level 2, so there was also more space for them for any possible turret dive after this counter jungling. So if they were gonna go really defensively, there could have been other choices, but Morgana. So Gen.G, that early attempts were really impactful, and this snowballed all throughout the game. So, well, some people say actually being offensive is the best answer to be defensive. So if they were so afraid of J4, maybe they should have just tried invading into the blue side jungle. Those 3 wards was not powerful enough to check where Clid was, and also they were so afraid of potential J4 all around the map. So J4 had so much gold on his first base. I guess it was a very smooth and easy jungle game for Clid. And SKT couldn't reach out the gold deficit. The POG for game number 2 would be Clid on J4. He was adding so much pressure to all 3 lanes, and he was really supportive of his teammates to make their play when they had to. 100% team participation goes to Clid in game number 2. He was really proactive opening those fights. Sometimes when Gen.G players were backing up, Clid went in for re-engagement and found meaningful kills. Sometimes Gen.G, they actually prefer to play around macros and rotation rather than making kills, but this time Gen.G managed to pick up a lot of kills and prove themselves that they are also good at aggressive games. So I think the interesting point for game number 3 would be whether SKT will ban out Akali or are they gonna keep it open once again. And also MF, Teddy, Ruler, Deft. Will they just stick to Misfortune, a champion that has a very vivid limits? Maybe it's time for AD carries to find another partner to find the win. So let's find out whether two teams got a new answer in their draft in game number 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun, as usual, for the translation of the final Analyst Desk segment of the week. And gentlemen, on your screen, a very well-deserved player of the game for that one. Still pretty close. I think a lot of votes over to BDD, who did have some pretty good bubbles throughout that game. But honestly, most of it was played on the timepiece of Clid.
Yeah.
Just made things work for the rest of his team, but now Gen.G need to use that momentum to move towards a Game 3 victory where we switch the sides once again, because we're 100% blue side win rate so far.
Atlas, I want to tell you something.
Tell me something. Go, give it to me.
So in the 2 weeks that we've been here at LCK, the staff has never once made an error on giving us player of the game sheets. And I just want to let you know.
We have an extra one?
We're going to Game 4.
Oh no!
We have one extra player of the game sheet here on the desk. So we're going to get a remake this game.
All right.
Hopefully it comes in at 68 minutes.
Well, I mean, that's the dream.
That is the dream.
Obviously.
Chrono Break that's not able to be fixed.
Echo confirmed to be picked.
Yeah. Team 1 now banning away the Zoe and the Pantheon. A little bit surprising. I would really like to not see an Ornn or anything get banned away. Gen.G showing that they also won't ban Akali. Faker could just pick it up.
Whoa. The blue side Akali ban. That's a weird one.
That is definitely a bit weird.
Could be an Ornn ban here then. But no, the Aphelios going to be taken off the board.
So this opens up option to be one Ornn. Kana is like, is it time?
Well, I mean, obviously it is.
Watch them do something like Jarvan. I'm going to walk out.
Well, or the Gragas. The Gragas is
really good as well.
Yeah.
Ornn, Gragas, okay.
We're okay.
Unless I'm putting on my seatbelt. I think I'm here to stay.
We're strapping in.
We're strapping in for this one. Gen.G now. Probably watch them do something along the lines of Misfortune Braum, and I lose it.
Well, they could just lock in Zyra
they could,
here.
well,
Or Xayah Gragas.
Oh. Yeah, Xayah Gragas. See, we're learning.
That would be very spicy. Come on, Clid. Yeah, there we go. What is happening? This is LCK teams correctly drafting based on what we're talking about.
Now, the Xayah coming out this early does leave her susceptible to certain AD carries. You're able to actually take Ezreal here and then wait to see if Gen.G shows a vulnerable support.
It's likely that they will go towards Rakan.
Lethal Tempo Ezreal, really good if you pair him with a mage support or an enchanter, depending on what Xayah would end up picking, but that would require Gen.G to not...
Ooh, I thought Syndra might have been the choice there, but not going to happen as the Misfortune just locked away. Trying to certainly band-aid the MF's win rate thus far. She's been played 29 times, and I'm pretty sure she hasn't got to a third of a win rate yet. As BDD, the final pick here, likely to be Rakan, just to make sure that the lovers duo is not separated. And it looks like that marriage is not going to be annulled at this particular point in time.
Well, Xayah Rakan is picked up, and so there would have maybe been that spot had Ezreal been locked in. But instead we're going to end up getting Misfortune. Victor now getting banned away.
Yep, that stable mid laner that Faker did play so well on in game number 1. Mordekaiser going to be the follow-up ban here. Not going to allow Rascal to have that one.
And we'll see what Rascal is actually going to try to pick here into the Ornn. Now remember, the Ornn is also able to be flexed into mid lane.
True. Still plenty of options here for T1 as far as where things are going to go. I was wondering whether the Nautilus ban was going to come in. Gen.G just taking away some of the favorites from T1.
Nautilus.
Yep.
Being taken off. As, you know, I always say it. I say it every single time. The Gragas Yasuo. It's very bizarre.
It does work well with the Rakan paired with it as well.
It
But
does.
I think it's like better to lock down the Xayah Rakan.
And I suppose it also has merit, given that you do have the Ornn. And so
that's
Camille's
a Camille
actually,
up against the Ornn.
Yeah. So Camille actually doesn't beat Ornn until 3 items. And so Ornn is always going to be able to have control up until that point. Obviously, Camille needs to get to Trinity Force, Hydra, and the Sterix until she starts really taking over against Ornn.
Well, Misfortune Leona going to most likely come in here. Oh no, we're back to the Morgana. We're going to try that one more time. 2 options that definitely work into the Rakan. Now with no Zoe to worry about, might be a better option as we're continuing to flex here. I love the Rumble coming in. Can be moved between top and mid as they like, as BDD thinking about going towards his Galio. He loves this pick and always has.
Obviously, Camille Galio, pretty iconic bread and butter pick of the past in Season 7.
Yeah.
I believe that is when it was really popular. And so BDD gonna go to that pick here in mid lane. See what the summoner spells are gonna end up being as well for Faker versus BDD.
Certainly stable drafts on both sides. Both of them happy to scale as this game goes on. T1 gonna get all of that free gold in the Ornn items. But Gen.G just going to have champions that work very well together in a late game team fight, and they do have split pushing options as well in the Camille 4-1, and then disengage availability with Klid's Gragas. I do really, really like how this has been put together. 1-3-1 also an option given BDD being on the Galio. The heroic entrance can be utilized in order to allow a split push. So certainly lots of options here for Gen.G's composition. But Ornn really does change how these games work.
Yes. The amount of late game scaling that he offers to the team. You have Obsidian Cleaver, Rabadon's Death Crown, Molten Edge, and then I don't know the name of Zhonya's Hourglass upgrade, but those are going to be the Ornn items that can realistically come in. And
I think it's Zhonya's Rolex.
Okay,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So T1 with a lot of late game power, but I would say they start getting overpowered at around, or they start getting, they get overthrown around 4 items as Camille, Gragas, Galio, Xayah, and Rakan is going to be the picks for Gen.G. A lot more playmaking, definitely room for a lot more action this game with that Galio.
Also stable scaling on Gen.G's side, but whether T1 can get their lanes in order does feel like the team that has had control of the early game and allowed the game to be played on their pace has been the one to win out. And Cuz now on the Rek'Sai, a much more stable jungler as we hit the rift for game number 3, the decider between T1 and Gen.G.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Having a look at the standings, if Gen.G win here, they are outright first place. As Dragon X suffered one more loss, so one more 3-game series. On the Dragon X side, I believe that was due to a Freak of Freaks taking a match off them, and Gen.G being so consistent up against Damwon this week. T1 desperately looking for this. Currently sitting on 6-4. They can even out the scoreline with a Freak of Freaks and claim a joint 2nd place.
Yeah.
It'll move, sorry, a joint 3rd place alongside a Freaka. Gen.G will move to 2nd. And then Dragon X will be our 1st place team in the league. But the top 4 will be neck and neck. So incredibly close. After this one.
See how the early game is going to play out here as Cuz going to be starting on his red buff. Gragas going to be getting a leash on the right-hand side. Ornn has that Q level 1.
Cuz, you also have to remember that I believe he debuted on this champion, on the Rek'Sai. Played a very good first game. Can now looking for
One
a little
grass
bit of
proc.
poke damage. Yep, grass prop going to work out there. Is the passive going to be a confusing one to utilize here for Rascal, as Canna weaves a lot of auto attacks as far as his trades are concerned. So want to try and get that magic damage shield if the Ornn is going to go for a combo.
You can see Ornn actually canceling some of his autos. Gets the level 2 slower than the Camille. Now finally has it. Misuses the Q and gives Camille a way to actually reach him by using that pillar. So Kana, this is not how Ornn versus Camille goes, level 1. Ornn should never be on the receiving end of the push, ever. More grass procs, Camille shouldn't be able to walk up the way that she's doing, and so Kana really misplaying the lane.
See how it goes as this game turns on, because honestly, Ornn, you might misplay, but half the time it doesn't matter. This Cuz is going to be able to take down that ward pretty well. You can see, yeah, I think Kana just built himself a root crystal potentially.
No.
He's just eating through his potion. Still sitting on some cookies. Both him and Rascal with those available. Rascal certainly having a better time of it as this wave stacks up. Cuz is going to move in though. Hookshot will be available for an escape.
Cuz coming in here, clearing out the ward, leaving a zombie ward as well in its wake.
Rascal comes down, he won't be able to replace the ward, just gets rid of that zombie ward to make sure that everything will be okay as Rascal looking for the hook shot. Should be able to, oh no, doesn't even go for it.
Did not want to smite as he didn't even have it.
Nope. A little bit dangerous there as Teddy doesn't get the double up to Ruler and Kellen.
Now Faker, I'm sorry, I did not see, did he cheat a recall? I wasn't watching the mini-map, but he has Predator boots as well as Doran's ring, so
you can't get them at level 1.
I'm thinking that Faker had cheater recalled.
If
you're unfamiliar with the terminology of what a cheater recall is, first time tuning into LCK, just means getting a recall off when the opponent is forced to respect the fog of war as you disappear into it with a sizable minion wave crash that causes them to push and respond too slow. So you end up getting back to the lane for free with better combat stats. If you have potions, they're replenished. And it just puts you in really advantageous spots. Typically, it's more commonly seen in top lane and bottom than any other lane. Mid is a little bit more awkward to do it.
Oh, Clid doesn't find the body slam there on Cuz as he's able to tunnel out eventually. Clid down here though, just trying to alleviate some of the vision pressure that T1 had put together. Ruler happy to sit here alone in the lane. Understanding that Gen.G certainly had help in the area, Cuz still farming things out, now only finally evening up the camp difference alongside Clid. Looking at the CS, you can see Balmy Cinder created by Canna in the Forge. And Rascal still with a slight lead and continuing. Gets the second proc actually of the E. Powerful Stop Searing Charge will knock Rascal up, but otherwise not too much to worry about here for the Camille.
Remember, Ornn's all-in threshold is 750.
Is that at level 5? No, level 6,
level
right?
6, yep. And that level 6 is coming. It is
very
the
close.
First melee minions that are going to get here. Rascal's going to be the first to get it, but Rascal is in lethal. So if Ornn lands the Q at max range, steps back and casts the R, Camille can't respond with the Hextech ultimatum.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely the ability for Camille to get solo killed. She is in lethal range. Now, whether or not Kana knows that, I'm unsure.
Doesn't look like it. As we've got Camille rotating down. Of course, now going for that all-in. Maybe not the best of ideas as Clid spotted on the Tremor Sense. Ping's going out here as Cuz gets his sweeper together. Clears out this control ward immediately. And there's the hook shot. We're looking for it. Hextech ultimatum as the Ornn does come in. Clid gets the flash body slam to deny the return of the call of the Forge Guard. And that will secure first blood for the jungler of T1.
Clid ends up stopping that. He was going to die anyway, Kana, without really being able to get a return kill. But still quite nice, very clean. Wave now going in, and he's also going to be slowed That's going to cause him to miss some of the minions, so a very greedy teleport that doesn't really serve a purpose unless Rek'Sai is going to end up coming over. I think he's going to even miss that minion.
Yeah.
Oh no, he gets it.
Thank you very much, melee minions, of the wave that was incoming.
And bombies.
And bombies, yeah.
You gotta think bomb.
That is definitely true. In fact, that might have been the majority of that damage. As we check out this gank once again.
Yeah.
Pretty cool,
So,
to be honest.
You just have to ask yourself, what is Kana really trying to achieve in this lane when he's standing where he is, attacking those minions? And yeah, just really
there we are. All we needed to hear was the nice.
Yeah.
Got them though, as now BDD will be able to take down this blue buff. Claims that for himself. Level 7 now gained for the Galio, so the heroic entrance is going to be available. We've got Grand and Heroic entrances, and in fact they can be used very, very well in tandem with one another. This is something in the height of the Galio days that we witnessed many, many times. Now Faker continuing to have a lot of fun here in this lane. Flame Spitter against a melee target, certainly something that you want to be utilizing. As I will see whether BDD does make any adaptations to the build. Adaptations meaning an adaptive helm. It is very, very strong against the Rumble. Maybe not what he wants to be building first up, as we'll be able to check out his first item as he goes back now. As T1 take themselves the Ocean Drake. Look to continue to move this game forward. Gen.G so far on the top side have been more successful, but as we move to Infernal Drake.
The thing is that this Camille Ornn matchup should never be going this way. And this is, again, it's a testament to just Rascal outplaying the Ornn inside of this lane. And we saw level 1 Kana mismanaging the wave. We saw it again at level 4 and 5. There's very peculiar trades and setup. And then obviously where his positioning was prior to him being killed. And so Kana definitely getting outclassed this series.
You see Rascal actually lying in wait there as the double up lands onto Ruler. Immediately throws out the bullet time as Ruler is level 6, and now Kellen looking for the re-engage. There's the black shield, but it lasts for long enough as Rascal had teleported in and gets a free flash out of Teddy. Damn, that make it rain bullet time combo was a hell of a lot of damage.
And you can see BDD was trying to run down in the event that they would need the Galio ultimate, but now he's going to teleport top so not to lose out on any minions. And then Rascal, he's going to pick up the baton pass in mid lane and get all of those minions. Yeah.
Like it a lot. Bit of a Pokemon reference for those of you playing at home. Baton pass, very frustrating ability, especially if you pair it with double team. Double team, an ability that no one actually liked in Pokemon in like the first games. It was like evasiveness. Why would I want that? That's so annoying. But is actually a banned ability in competitive Pokemon for most.
That's very nice. That's a nice tidbit.
A little bit of a tidbit for you guys. As all of your abilities missing is really unfun. As it turns out.
Oh, that's fun for me.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, you're an unfun
Does it make
gamer.
my does my opponent get mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Unfun gaming right there. Clip looking for the re-engage here onto Faker, but he's already got out of there. Has himself his Merc Treads, so he's feeling pretty good at this point in time anyway.
And again, the way that T1 is playing every single one of their lanes, they're playing to not lose, not to win.
Which is not what you want to do with when these compositions are clashing. Gen.G feeling very, very good with how this comp is going to run in an even situation in a late game moment. So T1 probably wanting to step up the pace as we move this game forward.
And Rascal, he has the call on the Camille as well, so that'll add insult to injury later on in the game. Definitely like seeing that picked up super early. Rift Herald still on Cuz. We'll have to see when he ends up summoning it. As Proto Belt going to be completed on Galio now. Leandri's, I believe, is going to be the first item for Faker, but he did pick up a Ruby Crystal with the Haunting guys.
Might be Leandri's Oblivion Orb, and Oblivion Orb picked up first just to make sure that he has some magic penetration for the earlier game fights. There is merit to that, especially before Magic Resist begins to get picked up, and there are not a lot of champions that are going to prioritize it so far this game. So I do like the idea. Effort moving over a lot of vision Down here towards the bottom side as Hextech ultimatum went down once again, but a great knock-up from Canna as Clid's going to make his way in. Flash comes out from Canna as now Ruler has to go into the air, but remember, it doesn't break that tether. Battle Dance gets Kellen in there, but the equalizer comes down and Ruler has absolutely nowhere to go. Looked at by the Rumble and destroyed. A double kill for Faker with a great roam to the bottom lane.
Ends up picking up 2 kills for himself. That should put him at a point to get the Blasting Wand.
In comes Clid. Now looking to start off this dive. We'll see where the barrel is going to land as BDD.
Oh, man.
He puts him in a real awkward position as now Canna gets the Searing Charge, but who cares? Clid was tanking up the turret, and it's all too easy. But 2 kills for T1, 1 kill for Gen.G, and all of the plates and a Rift Herald cast on the bottom side of the map, giving all the money to Teddy. I think I know who traded that one better.
T1 definitely making out on the better end of this. They're also going to end up getting a really nice reset timing for the Infernal. Look at the F keys. Trying to pay attention to everything. He says, go slow, go slow. Go slow, go slow, go, go slow. He says, go slow, I'll get this. And then the replay cuts in. But, you know, Faker's probably about to F key up there, too.
Yeah, he was already looking at it. We probably could have just kept the replay running. As that was a decent bellows breath there from Canna, who was trying his best to make a good thing out of nothing. But I wasn't able to. But sacrificing himself for the good of the colony. Not too bad at all. 2 kills coming in for Faker there on the bottom side. Did allow for that blasting one that you were talking about. Not going to be completing an Oblivion Orb just yet. Looks like Leandres is going to be the first option as T1 looking for their second Drake in the Infernal.
Well, Turtle Dragon now going to go over to T1. Let's take a look at how much AD Rek'Sai gets here. 165.
And Gen.G are hoping for a Mount Drake, but it's not going to happen. Oh dear.
9 AD.
Not
so
bad.
almost a longsword.
All right. Kind of moving up here as we've got another plate that came in. Rascal claims the last one as 14 minutes ticks over.
If T1 could have gotten a Mountain Dragon, it would have spelled disaster for Gen.G. Because they have a reliance on that Wombo combo, and if the shield and resistances are there, it just takes so much away from it. And it really makes Galio hurt, as well as the Gragas. So, a bit fortunate for Gen.G that Cloud ends up being rolled. Faker, bit of a savant here with the Leandres picked up. You're able to get that in your shop for 3,100 gold.
Indeed, thank you very much, Leandres Salesman. We certainly have the best when it comes to delivering on the marketing that people want for their items and skins. Faker, of course, not running a skin. I'd like to remind everyone that it's all about the originals. That being said, it's Rumble. And pineapples all the way. Rumble, you understand that Rumble in the Jungle is the best Rumble skin.
Let me think about that.
Pineapples.
I think it's Super Galaxy.
Oh no, come on.
I'm really sorry, but
you had to go with the Weeb call.
I think it's Super Galaxy. Yeah.
It is a cool skin.
It really is. I really do like it.
I believe that's 30.
I hope that, you know what would be really cool? A Rumble in Friends skin. And there's just lots of people in Rumble's little cockpit.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cute, yeah. We'll have like Teemo in there
yeah,
and Tristana or something. The Yordles all just together.
And they're riding on Skarl.
Yeah.
And actually the skin just it makes no
sense.
sense.
It's a giant Skarl?
It just looks like Claire.
Yeah.
And he's just casting Equalizer and stuff. It's doing weird things.
Cast an Equalizer that's like lined with mushrooms like a red carpet.
Oh, perfect.
Has a bone at the end of it, like it's trying to get Nar's attention.
Love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. I like it. We need this. Right? Make it happen. I want a Yordle Rumble skin, which is Yordle and Friends Rumble skin. It's Rascal just zoning Canna out of the way of this outer turret entirely. As his Trinity Force not quite completed. Yormon does come in just to clear out some minions, and won't do so quickly enough before Rascal gets a lot of damage down here. BDD suffering a little bit, but not as far as farm is concerned. Got himself to 20% CDR so far from his items. And that feels good. Haven't seen much out of the ultimate other than that top lane gank onto Canna, which was pretty easy. so far just been dealing with Faker burning his minion parades down. Moves in with the Proto Belt, clears out the full wave, and then gets out with the Justice Punch. I like it. Very clean as Canna just has no rights in this lane, apparently. Just being told to leave.
And they're going to end up raising this top tier 1 turret as well.
But the trade was for bottom lane.
Yeah.
I feel like it's actually just fine for Gen.G. There's 4 people up here. We're looking for a second charge.
Not if they end up having Galio die as well as the Rift Herald.
Oh,
getting the tier 2 turret,
That's real nice.
And
Shirley will be able to sacrifice herself for it, but that is a lot of global gold going over to T1.
And this ends up being a victory. Normally, the top tier 2 turret you don't get without having the Baron buff in most games, so it's perceived as an economic or a luxury turret. So it's really nice that they're able to pick that up here so early on.
Yeah, 17.5 minutes so far. Still early in this game. 3 turrets to 1 in favor of T1. Both of our outer turrets in mid lane are still standing. The more important towers, of course.
Kana missed a minion.
Did.
Oh,
no.
Cut the scene.
Don't worry.
Oh.
He just upgraded his Forge Fire cape. So that's not going to happen again.
Oh, man.
I guess. Oh, dear. Hate to see it. Rascal does have Trinity Force now. So things getting better and better. Here for the Camille. As Ninja Tabi is an odd choice. I would have thought Mercury Treads could have been good this game, although I guess it's a lot of knockups. Slows, not necessarily a lot of just general hard CC outside of the Dark Binding. Swifty Boots could have been good though.
Well, right now T1 posturing around this Cloud Dragon, and when they have the low ground, it's so powerful for them with the bullet time,
and Anakin
the amount
composition.
Of space that Morgana controls as well, Ornn as well as the Equalizer. So the low ground is definitely favorable to T1. Gen.G, I think they're just going to have to give this up. Clid might try to steal it, but I feel like if Gen.G takes the fight here, it's going to be a disaster.
Well, Kellen's got flash, he's got quickness, he's got options. As yep, Cuz did it last game, and Clid says, well, I mean, you showed me how to do this one, mate. It's all too easy. And he just walks over, casual as you like, and steals away the dragon.
Needed a moment of silence right there, Atlas.
Yeah, I understand.
For that one.
Yeah. We put the Fs in the chat.
Yeah, we're really going to need the Fs in the chat there.
Any truers? Oh, God. Okay, well, Rascal continues to push. Gen.G on the board when it comes to Drakes, but not so far when it comes to the gold lead. But 1,000 gold not to be a worry here for Gen.G. Rascal still powering towards those 3 items that you were talking about. Next one going to be most likely that Ravenous Hydra, given that sustain in lane. And then moving towards something like a GA or a Sterix as this game goes on.
And so, Kana trying to get these golems right now, trying to reach level 13, gonna build Abyssal Mask second.
Yep, I like that.
And
upgrades.
At this stage of the game, there's really not that much that you could do. Galio could try to be freezing top lane because there's no way that T1 just takes the team fight under mid-tier 1 turret. Not when Xayah has her ultimate, and also just the wave clear that they have. The Gragas able to be in such close proximity. Galio's ultimate is also in close proximity, so it's not really like you could dive. So bit of a lost opportunity here because there's no real neutral objective up for the next 3.5 minutes. So there's no rush for either party, and obviously Ornn can't really freeze anything with the Sunfire cape.
Currently Ruler is 0, 1, and 0, and just recently had a gold bounty that has since reset as he spent some time back in base looking for his Infinity Edge that Teddy has already put together for himself. Gen.G probably waiting for that timing in the next 3 minutes so they can fight around a Cloud Drake with 2 items on their Xayah. Now that the Essence Reaver Infinity Edge combo is the more popular one, 2 items is what you're really looking for. Feels like things definitely get better on 3 items, right? But these are still able to pack a big punch.
3 core item plus ornament is when T1's comp really starts to peak. At 4, 5, 6 items, that's when things start getting...
Oh no, the minions are gone.
Yeah, the minions are all dead. So effort taking a lot of damage. But 4, 5, 6, that's where things start getting a little dicey because the Camille starts threatening so much. And then in addition to that, the Xayah gets so strong. And so in a vacuum, you have the Xayah versus the Misfortune, but the Gragas ends up becoming more effective than the Rek'Sai, and the Camille doesn't really need an introduction at all. So the ornaments and 3 core items will carry T1 for a certain point in time, but if this goes the super distance, it becomes a lot easier for Gen.G.
So it's all going to be about T1 playing around their timings and utilizing tempo very, very well, because they need to be the ones calling the shots this game and dictating the pace. Is now Cuz going to do exactly that, moving towards this bottom side, but Rascal's good. No reason to fight the minion wave just there. Tiamat going to help him clear it out very, very quick, smart. Once again, a slow game for Cuz. 0-0-1. Game number 2 was another one that didn't quite get off the ground for one of his other farming junglers. But Faker is very, very large. We've got Molten Edge done for Teddy. And you were talking about item spikes. This is definitely, the AD carry department, a huge advantage for T1. Rascal moving down towards bottom lane means they will be able to fight around Cloud Drake, but the Baron is up, has been for 3 minutes, and is another point of contention on this map. Still, both of these teams, you can just see how much this particular game means to both of them.
And gold score is only slightly favoring T1, but that's not really the talking point. Gold score doesn't really mean anything unless there's a gross discrepancy. Equalizer coming out.
Equalizer rule actually is walking down the red carpet. Not what you want to be doing there, but able to create enough distance. T1 now moving over towards this Drake pit. And Rascal lying in wait. Spooky Ghost, spot him out. It's not what you want. He does have Hextech Ultimatum, but the Ornhorn is going to be called. That's a great barrel, just to make sure that Rascal does stay alive. Hookshot to get him out the rest of the way. But now we've got Flash on cooldown, a broken stopwatch, and half the health bar on Rascal. A big opportunity for T1.
And there's no opportunity here, Alice. They're just going to reset.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I apologize. Well, Clid can just come over.
Clid's going to, yeah, he can come over and steal it again if he needs to. Another stat thing that we can look at right now is the levels between all the players in the game.
Yep. 1
level advantage for the Camille up there in top lane. 1 level advantage for Cuz in the jungle, but that is less relevant than the Camille's.
Yeah, and in fact, it's even levels across both of these teams. As you can see, lead for Rascal and a lead for Cuz. Puts it directly on even as the rest of the map is in the same position.
Equalizer back up. Ornn ultimate still down. Gragas Cask almost up as well. This could be the decisive fight. Teddy shoving in mid first.
Yep, there's the Equalizer just making a wall.
And getting a lot of damage down, and Leandri's able to do quite a bit there.
Yeah, but it's just so easy for Gragas to burst it down. So unless you get him out of that pit, you're going to lose the Drake. It's how...
Atlas, watch out, watch out, watch your hand. Watch your hand.
Okay, sorry.
The paint's almost dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
All right. Were you watching that instead of the Drake fight?
I was watching the I was watching the grass grow right here on the left.
Oh, okay.
I have a mini plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see that one?
No, I didn't see the plant.
I'm trying to see which actually occurs faster. It's a bit of a science experiment I got going on here.
Well, I mean, right now we've evened out the Drake count, so we might go to the magical 7 before we get this one really sorted out. Gen.G have closed the gap of the gold by the 500 mark over the last 7 minutes. And this game has come to a standstill.
All right.
Oh, that's my update for you.
Thank you so much.
My forecast. I wonder if it's still snowing.
Oh, it was so beautiful out, and you know what? You ruined it.
Yeah, well, we got a team fight here as BDD. He's going to eat a lot of time as Rascal's going to dive on in. BDD flashes out. Rascal not going to survive for too much longer, though, because that stopwatch is broken. Faker goes down low, but is going to survive, as now another beautiful equalizer comes in to guarantee that Gen.G aren't going to be able to take down that Rumble. T1 might just move over to this Baron. I like that we had our discussion about grass growing, and then all of the action decided to
I
happen.
feel like we need to just try to pog state a little, or a lull state a little more.
Yeah.
Because it seems that when we lull state, they pog state.
Yeah, we need to enforce the lull state.
Yeah, I feel like...
Just to gather more pog states.
Right, we should try that again in about a minute from now after they reset, and let's see if it actually works.
But in the meantime, we can talk about the fact that it's snowing.
Yes.
And it's just so
No,
good.
no,
I've
save
been
it, save
waiting
it,
for
save-
snow
save-
all winter.
Alice, save
Yeah.
the snow talk for
Okay.
about 45 seconds from now. That way we get another team fight.
All right, sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize.
hold on. Talk about the game for now.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Rascal has just respawned, no teleport available, and Flash is going to be coming up
And-
relatively soon. Looking for Guardian Angel, and he has a 43 CS lead.
Molten Edge completed, by the way, for Teddy. And now Faker, I think, is moving towards Rabadon's Death Cap. And so it's really important that he moves the Zanya's Hourglass to the second slot in his inventory, or
Yeah.
the furthest most right, and the Death Cap to the furthest most left. That way Ornn's upgrade prioritizes the Death Cap. That's the way that Ornn works, in case anyone listening to this didn't know. The
Yep.
furthest most left item in your inventory gets upgraded by Ornn, so you can control it.
And Rabbids Death Cap is definitely one of the best ones to possibly upgrade.
Okay, can Clid be a hero?
I mean, he's done it before.
Yeah, PTSD.
T1 instantly, get me the hell out of here. We're not going for a 50-50 against the Smite Lord himself.
All right.
On the champion that makes smiting look so
About
easy.
30, here we go, here we
Faker's
go.
had his item upgraded already, and therefore
You
didn't
know
have
what?
the opportunity to get the Rabbids Death Cap.
Hit me with it. Talk about the snow so they commit.
All right. Well, it does look stunning as Kellen finds himself a gleaming quill onto the opponent.
It's snowing outside. What kind of snow do we have going on?
We've got it was almost a blizzard last night.
It really
Very
was
exciting.
actually. It was the clarity outside of my window was not very good.
No, which is exactly what you want.
That is what I want.
But it's
We haven't
snowing.
had snowfall.
All winter, man. There was
All
there was
winter.
one day where like it kind of happened, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
the stay on the ground snow, which is the exciting snow, and now we've got the stay on the ground snow. So
Yeah.
everything's just brilliant. It's currently about -5, so that snow going to be staying.
Yeah, that snow should be sticking. Sometimes it has snowed, but it just doesn't stick
Yeah,
on
I
the
know,
ground.
it's
and
frustrating. Yeah,
that is really frustrating.
feels like fake snow, you know?
Right, it really does. Alice, you're going to need to try a little bit harder. They seem to be very far away from each other.
Rascal just popped into the screen. I like that. He's going in for a flanking play on our monitors. 1,000 gold is still the lead. I mean, this game is just, it's parked. We have a parked game, and we need someone to put some gas in this machine, or recharge the battery, depending on how climate change conscious you are.
Well,
Did you hear about Europe? Now,
What?
like, there's going to be like a big tax on
Really?
fossil fuel cars coming in.
ooh.
So it's pretty forward thinking over
I
there.
hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about Summoner's Rift being a globe?
Not a fan.
Not a fan of
Everyone
that?
knows that it's flat and floating in the sky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how that works. Underneath it, though, I don't know. What is Rune Terror? Rune Terror is a disc. On top of elephants, we've been over this. Everyone knows. Okay? You failed the test.
All right.
Do you know who won the test?
Who?
Rascal.
Okay.
He's got 3 items.
He has 3 items.
T1 have 3 Drakes.
And T1's
Someone's
finally
given
going to get their first Cloud Dragon of the game. So we're not quite at Drake point yet. Well, we are if you're a T1 fan,
Soul
but
Point, come on.
well, honestly, I'm having the Twitter poll after.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see who's going to win out on that one. I'm pretty sure Soul Point is going to be voted for. As this inner turret getting taken down very, very quickly. You can see 4 items now on Teddy, who's been caught out of position. Great Black Shield will save his life. A few extra autos onto Canna, but it's not the target ruler needs to be focusing here. As a full item ahead is Teddy. He's got a luxury Phantom Dancer here in this matchup, as Faker might be caught out of position, but just going to take half of his health bar and damage and evens it out. He's angry now, because he doesn't want to move too far forward, but he would have killed Clid if given the opportunity.
Almost has that Rabadon Death Cap sitting on that Ruby Crystal for a really long time. I think that's just his favorite item.
Yeah, he just likes it.
It's like his, you know, it's like a teddy bear or something.
You know how you go to a place that you really like as okay effort, as to Black Shield himself, as Rascal taking a few autos. Yeah, you know how you go on a holiday to a place that you really like and you get like, you bring a rock home
Yes.
to remind you of it?
Yes.
That's what Faker did. That's the Ruby Crystal. He went on a holiday to the shopkeeper and brought a Ruby Crystal. Because it's part of his favorite item, Leandri's Torment. So he did that to remember it. remembered the humble beginnings of the Leandri's Torment. Of course, the Ruby Crystal being the most affordable portion of that particular item. I'm pretty sure this RP has worked out relatively well as we're checking out the goal difference. It was Gen.G for a little bit after that gank in the early game, but then T1 did turn it around. But this is 1.8 to -1. We're back to game 1 all over again, despite Soul Point being once again threatened by T1.
1,000, or not even 1,000 actually. 300 gold, I'm sorry. 300, 500 gold is the discrepancy. And you gotta remember the Ornn items. This is actually where T1's comp is a lot stronger.
Rascal, Searing Charge actually just going to completely miss. But now Rascal's looking for Teddy. GA gonna be utilized as Teddy flashes to get himself out of there, and Ruler is destroying the front line right now as Rascal escapes, gets over the wall as now Canon's trying to hunt him down. So far, only Ruler has fallen in this entire exchange, as the health bars on T1 are still very, very low, but they're still recognizing this as a huge win given the amount of DPS that is now missing from Gen.G. Cannon can just tank up the Baron. I don't know why they're going for a reset, but they're too scared to do the Baron buff.
And Kana didn't just give Faker... Oh no!
Yeah, he upgraded it earlier. Yeah.
He upgraded the Zanyas!
Yeah, ages ago. I spoke about it. Active listening, come on. Yeah, no, it was sad. Now, Klid's here, so it's once again a 50-50, guys. Still looking for it. Cuz looking to try and jump on top of Klid, the equalizer. The Gragas is just dancing on it, but he goes golden. BDD deals with Rek'Sai as Klid gets himself over with the flash, and that's a huger deal than having Ruler go down because he's respawned, and now there's no jungler for T1.
Ruler has respawned. Teddy's going to try to push out the mid wave. And what a loss of stats on Faker, and so it's going to change some of the things right now, and this is starting to become the tipping point where Gen.G, they're going to start getting stronger. Rascal just going super alpha there onto T1.
Onto Teddy, trying to remove him from the fight. Somehow manages to escape. It's actually a huge deal.
So insane that he did manage to get away right there. BDD almost back into the fight, and then we take a look at this as they go over looking for Klid, and Rascal, who should have been dead, is still here.
I think Cuz missed the knock-up as well.
Yeah.
Onto Klid. Just a mechanical misplay.
And Klid, he did, I do believe he missed his R, but did not
strange.
end up mattering. Steric's almost going to be completed for Rascal, and at that point, Ornn cannot really hold Camille anymore.
That true damage is going to be too crazy. And not even building towards the Thornmail or anything like that, so won't be able to deny any of the healing.
Now, Faker built Oblivion Orb. I'm actually really curious.
That was what that Ruby Crystal was turned into.
The MR is on the side of the opponents.
Well, Zaya doesn't have a lot.
But perhaps Faker can actually see that BF Sword is built on Ruler and knows that Bloodthirster is coming in. And so with Ravenous Hydra as well, if their MR values are low enough, getting the M-Pen from the Oblivion Orb completing into Morello
might actually be worth it, yeah.
Can be worth it in some instances.
Well, Gen.G looking for Soul Point themselves.
The Rakan heal and whatnot, so.
Yeah, on going to be blown as Ruler has been made brittle. And now Cuz going to take that Cloud Soul for himself. That's how he's supposed to do it, is 3-man taunt from BDD. We're trying to get this fight going. Great quickness and grand entrance for Kellen, but he is going to go down. T1 members have been softened but haven't gone down, as now the heroic charge will get BDD in again. Back-to-back 3-man taunts from this Galio, and they will take down Teddy. Goes golden as well. BDD taking that team fight by the haunches and destroying it.
I mean, what a miraculous play, honestly, by the Galio in this team fight. Faker, he does have Equalizer available, and so we'll see what he can end up doing here. As Gen.G, they're going to be forced to posture. Now, this isn't the end of the world for them either. Just because they lost the Dragon Soul, it's only Cloud Soul.
Yeah, it's not one of the big ones.
And so with all that scaling continuing to come in on their champions, even though there's the ornaments, the Rek'Sai not as valuable as the Gragas at this point. The Camille gonna just start doing so much. So this team fight is started off with Kellen missing a bit of HP. Look at that engage out of BDD, followed up by Kellen. Bullet Time comes out, ends up killing Kennen. Galio, heroic entrance, helping lock up Kana, as well as Cuz. Kana gets out onto the left-hand side. Ruler following him, BDD, who ends up going golden. Almost dies, but Faker not quite able to kill him. Goes golden again.
Used his double stopwatch, so won't have that opportunity for the next fight, but now can sell it to construct himself some more items. 2-0-1 now for BDD after that beautiful engagement. Remember, it was a 1-for-1, so actually, you know, I was talking about that like a huge win for Gen.G. They were able to take the mid-outer turret, which, given the state of the game, is actually a very big deal. That means the ping pong that they're going to be playing is on a bigger table.
I feel like Faker is really just trying to send me to the hospital right here with the dichotomy between his items and their location.
Yeah, and the completion timing. As, yeah, an ornament not worth as much as that forbidden hook is. Okay, Equalizer not gonna actually do too much here, but Ruler gonna get knocked up alongside Kellen immediately, has to
They got Ruler!
But those soul shackles are so powerful. Teddy might go down here as well as Rascal trying to control his situation. Teddy survives for approximately forever. Now will keep himself back up again, has a minion wave, and finishes the fight at 100% health. I have a feeling this is enough for T1 just to roll down the mid lane and win this one.
And yeah, they have the cannon minion. Gragas not going to be able to do enough, doesn't have his cask available. And you can see Kellen, he's trying to run over on the left-hand side. Oran's just going to say, you know what, I'll tank the turret. Watch him
if Clip
probably
dies here, it's a huge deal because he needs to kill
Kana.
2 minions. If he can kill these 2 minions, he might save the game. But look at that, he's dead. He can't do it. These minions will survive. The Nexus will not, and T1 will win the 2-1 victory over Gen.G.
Well, what a climactic ending. Ruler getting eviscerated at the very start of the fight makes that so one-sided, and you can see they couldn't quite bring down Teddy. At the very end, he managed to get out and escape there. The scaling on T1's team composition, it did come in handy, and right as the tides were starting to turn, they started, well, they got a very good team fight at the very end where they clipped the AD carry, and that is so, I don't even know. I don't even know the percentage chance. If you run the game state from like 15 seconds prior, how often does that end up occurring?
But also, the Soul Shackles is just so powerful against Xayah because you just can't move, right? And even if you press Featherstorm, you're up in the air, you're not taking damage, but you will be stunned when you land, and then you just die.
Mage support's pretty cool.
Yeah, as it turns out.
They are pretty cool.
Morgana actually counters both Xayah and Rakan.
Morgana keeps building more items that become more and more effective. So
yeah.
Has the Twin Shadows, gets the Zanyas, add on another AP item as well.
Also has the Glacial Augment, so you're adding even more with the Spooky Ghost that can then like slow everyone for even longer, does a bit of damage. It's all good news. It's all great stuff. So
I gave the player of the game to Faker.
Yeah, so did I.
Just for getting the early ball rolling. Some of his equalizers were
the double
really
kills.
Clutch.
Plus, he was the one actually starting fights. Like, he was engaging with Equalizer almost every time. And some of them didn't work, but because he's pulling the trigger, it's actually creating opportunities for T1 to get further ahead. And we were talking about the composition on Gen.G's side actually working out well, and we saw it work decently well when BDD was able to have that heroic triple-man taunt into a second triple-man taunt in a team fight. Like, you saw how this composition is supposed to run, but just wasn't enough. If Ruler keeps getting caught out of position, then it's just not going to happen.
And you know what? The drafts today, they weren't that bad.
They were much better. Much better. Like, even this one, this was like, we called the Ornn first pick. The Xayah Gragas was a great second round lock-in, of course. Then Rakan on that side is an obvious one.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the Camille up against the Ornn, given the scaling advantage in the later stages of the game. Weren't able to get there, obviously, but honestly, a lot of these drafts did feel very good.
Yeah, the game one of T1, the Renekton, the Victor, even though they ended up winning.
Yep. So,
but
I need
game 2 and 3.
I need to warn everyone, the POC state will be coming out relatively soon. And this was prior to today and yesterday, where we did see drafts improve Not remarkably, but definitely a bit.
Also, the ban's improved a lot. Soraka got a lot of attention in the ban phase, which is really nice to see.
Yep.
'Cause that means that they recognize that she's arguably the best champion in the game right now, given her quadra flexibility.
We're about to patch the game, all right? 10-3 is around the corner, and obviously she's going to be nerfed, right?
Not in 10-3, she's not.
Yeah.
10-4. And in 10-3, her cat actually gets a buff, so it's going to be very nice to see how that pairs up as Faker. This was his initial roam down to bot lane. Galio, you can see, was trailing him. This didn't really matter as Kana on the top side of the map ended up
dying at the same time, but we're going to cut the video there.
Rascal doing an absolutely sicko engage here onto Teddy. Comes out of Guardian Angel and manages to get the hook shot and live as well.
Oh, Faker killed Ruler when he stopwatch flame spitted. That's player of the game right there. That's how you get it. That's how you get it. As Cuz popped up and then hit Clid with an ability, which is certainly a whoopsie in that last fight. But T1, they were just too strong in the end. Able to control what was a tiny gold advantage for an extremely long time until they just decided to get a team fight that worked.
Yeah. And this was such a good fight by BDD. Honestly, had Gen.G won, BDD was the MVP for me.
Oh, 100%.
Even though Clid with the Dragon Steals did prolong a lot of stuff.
여기까지 들어볼게.
오른쪽 이퀄 잘 봐.
Gonna have this as the last team fight here. Equalizer, zoning. This is it.
Good. I keep saying good.
But Teddy held his flash for so incredibly long, baiting them into thinking that he was going to be able to die. But then, as soon as they're in position, they break it, and then Gen.G understand that, oh wait, this one's over. Clid at this stage had one job, it was to kill the minions. You see that siege minion? There's a caster minion there. Teddy recognizes it, he understands that he just has to kill this guy. And that's what they focus on, so that the Rakan that's holding the minion wave won't be able to do anything. Even Equalizer thrown down on top. That's a very happy cut.
나이스. 괜찮아. 미안하다. 나이스.
Faker seems the least amused.
Well, Faker also deserves the player of the game because he killed the Nexus. And how do you win League of Legends games?
Well, that's exactly, I mean,
it's solved. It is solved. As that is a large damage discrepancy between our two AD carries. Ruler didn't necessarily have his greatest game here today.
Ruler didn't really get to do that much in this final game, but we're going to end up seeing who actually won the player vote in just a second. And I'm looking forward to that. So this is the climax of this week, and we're going to have to see how LCK keeps rounding up, basically.
And progressing, because we have to remember that there were so many roster shuffles after 2019. There are always going to be teething issues, and already we're seeing notable improvements from almost all of our teams. So it's really great stuff. Even APK Prince able to pick up a game win here or there. Feels like Humble Life are there pushing the other teams as far as drafts are concerned as well. So that's great to see. The guys, that was exactly what we wanted out of this series. Extremely close, extremely competitive, and I couldn't have asked for more. T1 come out ahead as well, which really does squish the top four. Really, really tight. So, and also DRX now our #1 team in the LCK.
Yeah.
As it turns out. So, what a day. It's been exciting. Damwon, not expecting them to come out of the gate swinging so hard, as Teddy's going to pick up the player of the game for this one. I was actually umming and ahhing between Teddy and Faker. Did end up giving my vote over to Faker, but Teddy did provide a lot of damage.
It was between Faker and Teddy. As we see right here, Teddy getting locked up. I mean, he's kiting. The Ornn obviously helping out as well, but you see Faker to the north, Flame Spitter in the Zhonya's Hourglass, bringing out Ruler.
And remember, that was like a 1-for-1 trade in the end, so the fact that Ruler died there was a huge deal for T1.
Bullet time ends up coming out. Teddy, I mean, he gets jumped on by Rascal, and then it is a full-on defense to defend Teddy here at the end. I mean, he's locked up indefinitely, just permanently auto-attacking, and then he flashes out, so...
Yep, and also I believe Effort accidentally put his Black Shield on himself instead of Teddy, and Teddy still managed to do that. So huge props to the AD carry of T1. And once again, like, you just have to, the stats don't lie as far as Teddy's carry ability. On my sheet right now, 36% of his team's damage, which is a lot more than a fifth. All right, guys? In fact, 16.4% more than a fifth. So incredibly well done from Teddy so far here today. So we'll have words from the marksman and the jungler from T1's side along with Mina. And that means that Faker, unfortunately, unable to get above that 300-point mark. But let's throw it over to Jisun for some interview translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun with the interview translation, and we'll be hearing from Cuz, Teddy from T1. So last time, you guys made a word that you were gonna take down Gen.G and you never want to lose to Clid. How are you feeling right now? Today's match, we really worked hard for this. So we got game number 1, but game 2 and 3, we were a bit shaky, so we aren't really that satisfied, but I'm still happy that we got this win, and we are gonna keep up this good work. And Teddy, while we were waiting for the interview, you said like you were actually worried after losing game number 2. So I think we made some errors in our draft, and also we like talked to each other like let's be more calm and let's play with our confidence in game number 3. So let's rewind back to game number 1, where Braga's performance was really fantastic. So we have this highlight to check out because you are actually using your sweeper, checking out your jungle. So you didn't really know where exactly Clid was at, but I mean, you weren't really surprised and you did your full combo. Well, I could make those predictions because I was expecting such play out of Lee Sin at that point of the game. So as soon as I saw him, so I was just able to do my combo. So game number 1 actually was Faker versus Cuz POG food competition as well. Faker wasn't really unhappy about the results because, I mean, no matter who got the POG, we are just happy that we got the win. Well, bit of a hard game number 2. After that, we had another T1's game in game number 3. So you guys decided to ban out Akali. There was no specific reason. I mean, we found out that banning Akali would make our draft easier. And you guys tried MF Morgana again. Why was that? MF and Morgana, when you have mid and jungle priority, it's a really nice comp, but we made some blunders in game number 2, but we still were very confident, so we went back to MF Morgana. So that last team fight was like a picture. I mean, how did you survive that? So let's take a look at the final team fight of game number 3. Did you expect that this is gonna be a huge clash? So we used the Ornn art really well, and also Effort's his Q was also really great. So I thought we were gonna win, but Camille went in so aggressively. So I was like, I'm gonna survive. So I was just like doing my autos. So you even like attack the minions to get some life back, right? Yes. So with that fight, you guys closed out the game. GG to T1, and I know you guys really wanted this win. So how are you gonna prepare your upcoming series? Because T1 has hit the 3rd rank in LCK. So we are going up against DRX in our next series. You know, it's my former team. So I'm gonna do my best to take them down. I really want to. Now this is Cuz time to make his revenge. So, Teddy, any words? So we stopped Gen.G's winning streak. But still, DRX is also on the winning streak, so we want to cut it again. So this will be the end of the interview with Cuz, Teddy from T1, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for the interview translation as usual, and thanks for all of them throughout the week as Week 2 draws to a close. Week 3 is just around the corner, only a couple of days off until we're back at it again on Wednesday KST. And as you just heard, T1's next matchup is Dragon X. Dragon X now top of the table.
Yep.
And once again, T1 in a top of the table clash. That will be a sick matchup. Teddy versus Deft. What more could you want? I honestly don't even need to rifle down the rest of the matchups, but Chovy versus Faker is another super sick one. So going to be a lot of fun. Also allowing Cuz, the more veteran player, to play up against Pyoshik. Both of these players are debuting on the same teams, in fact. As Cuz taking revenge against his former organization. He debuted with Dragon X when they were Longju all the way back in the day, and Pyoshik trying to run the Golden Road, much like Cuz was able to do when he was on the team. So really excited to see what is going to happen in that matchup. Feels like whoever faces against T1 is just full of storylines. They're just everywhere.
So we see the standings right here. As you mentioned, Dragon X 4-0 at the top, +5. 4-game winning streak, obviously, as Gen.G now 1-game loss streak with +4, however.
Yeah, this is huge.
And so T1 is still behind them.
And then if, like, Dragon X loses to T1 and Gen.G and T1, like, T1 of course wins, but Gen.G wins their next match, that's going to be like almost a 3-way tie at the top of the standings. It's going to be really, really exciting, and will mean that we are going to be talking about that Hanwha Life match that T1 couldn't quite get over the line in because of the creative drafts that Hanwha had, and saying, well, if you could have just done it, then all of this would have been a complete wash, and we'd be talking about T1 as remaining the top team in the LCK. But you make blunders like that and you suffer the consequences. Afrika Freaks still there as well. T1 and Afrika both tied and haven't faced each other just yet, which will mean that they both occupy that third place.
Yeah, we take a look at the next upcoming matchup. So Wednesday, I'll be here with you.
This is a big one.
Gen.G takes on Hanwha Life Esports in patch 10.3, I believe.
Yeah, and that's going to be after Hanwha Life versus Gen.G. 10.3.
And then Dragon X versus T1. So we got a banger of a day.
Dragon X has a banger of a week Friday. Yeah, Dragon X versus Gen.G. That is going to be real tough for these guys. Afrika this week up against Sandbox and KT, and T1's second matchup is APK Prince. So out of the woods after taking Dragon X on Wednesday, to be able to take a relaxation for a couple of days, and then up against APK, who have certainly been struggling. Looking forward to seeing what Damwon can do as well against Griffin and Sandbox, two other promoted teams that were in around the time that they were. So certainly some exciting storylines to be followed up with next week. But I think you need to take a couple of days off. LS?
Yeah, I'm gearing up for next week and the week after that.
Well, we'll see when Bryce Jim Paul does turn up. Hopefully it's soon to save your lungs. But for now, it is good night, and we'll see you back on Wednesday.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want.